Yes. Yes.
Hey guys, welcome to Podcast vs. Player, episode 51. I'm Cal, and as always, I'm joined by a man who on the day 50 Shades of Grey hit the cinema was at the checkout in B&Q. The cashier turned to him, looking at the rope and duct tape he was purchasing, and said, "I know what movie you've watched today," she said smiling. To which Dan replied, "Is it that obvious I watched Taken?" It's only Dan.
There was some effort put into that one, my word.
Yeah. Hey, it's episode 51.
Yeah, it's a special one.
I've got to put some effort. Well, it's not special in the slightest. The special was last week.
True.
How are you sex deviant?
I'm fine. Actually, speaking of 50 Shades of Grey, did you see in the news that, I don't know if this is even remotely true, but it made me laugh, some woman who went to see 50 Shades of Grey...
she got arrested?
No.
Oh. Then I saw something else entirely.
There's probably quite a few people who have been. But no, she was sick and shit herself at the same time.
Okay. Why?
It was either a really bad film or so good that she got so worked up about it, she just said...
Well, it's the only book I know of where the readers didn't have to lick the fingers to turn the pages. But...
Fantastic.
Moving on. Would you like some actual good news that's not 50 Shades related?
I'll have some non-sexual news, please.
Well, there's nothing sexual about this, Dan. GTA 5 for PC has been delayed again.
Oh, boo!
Boo indeed. Rockstar Games this week announced that the PC version of GTA 5 has been delayed for a third time. The game is now scheduled to launch on April 14th, with a quote, "A bit more time is needed to ensure the game is as polished as possible," the developer explained. But at least we have a certain date when Heists will be coming, because they are launching the same day as the PC version.
I knew they were waiting for the PC launch. Knew it.
So, April 14th, if it doesn't get delayed again.
Assuming it doesn't, I won't, but I'll be looking out for it, certainly on the Steam launch.
I can't imagine.
Because it's still £40 at the moment, but you get $1 million in game. I think it's both single player and multiplayer. Which, if you never got it originally, probably not bad.
I've got it twice and still haven't finished it.
Well, you're an idiot then. Aren't you?
If anything, I'm further behind. I've been playing it back. I started off at the end. I'm trying to work my way back to the beginning.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I probably will pick that up at some point, but it will have to be a pretty good Steam sale for me to get back involved with it. But looking forward to, seeing how it all looks, see the new weapons, the new features and stuff they've thrown into it.
I'm not excited in the slightest for the actual game, but I am excited for mods. Especially
mods.
The Ice Enhancer mod. Jesus Christ, was that going to look
mods
good?
Will be... I think it'll take a while for people to get their heads around it, but when they do, there's going to be some good ones.
I hope they implement the workshop more into it, so you can literally click and add mods as you see fit, rather than go through all the game script like you had to for GTA 4.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously there's not really an option for any other Rockstar game, but this is GTA at the end of the day. People go fucking crazy.
It's probably one of the most modded games, GTA 4. I mean, somebody recreated Watch Dogs down to the HUD, his walk, using the phone, hacking fucking traffic lights and everything. A lot of effort. Could have just played Watch Dogs, but it's nice to have the option.
I suppose, yeah.
Moving on to less good news. This week saw Star Trek's Leonard Nimoy sadly pass away. So we wish all his friends and family our deepest sympathies. As probably more so coming from you, Dan, as you are a big Star Trek fan.
Well, Leonard Nimoy isn't necessarily just known for his work in Star Trek. Obviously, that's where most people know him from, and that's where his career kind of blossomed from. But he was obviously William Bell in Fringe. He made his appearance. He was in multiple movies, probably more than any other character in any of the Star Trek movies. I mean.
Yeah.
And then obviously he had a huge impact on equal rights for women. I don't know if it's just sort of workplace or general, but either way, he was a good man.
Yeah.
And I think 83. It's a good age to go, I'd say. He did a lot of good for the world. He brought a lot of joy to it. But yeah, I do feel your sympathy, and I will also extend that out to the fans who will also be as touched by it as everyone else.
Well, speaking of fans, Cryptic Studios, the makers of Star Trek Online, will honour Leonard Nimoy with a permanent memorial in the MMO. So I imagine it'll be like a statue of some kind.
Well, there's yeah, because I mean Leonard Nimoy did actually do the narration voice for Star Trek Online. So he still had, well, Cryptic Studios obviously were invested in him, you know, continuing doing their narration. So when you sort of get to work with someone, and you know it's a big of an icon as that, I think it would be only fair that they put something in. There is something next to Earth, which is the scene of a battle called Wolf 359, which is like a memorial, at least like a fictional memorial to like a huge war. Well, not war, battle. Sorry, fans. I know that'll annoy you. So something similar to that. You know, it's just a section of space. It's just a big hologram there, and it's you know, kind of like a plaque reading thing where it tells you about it. So yeah, something like that I think would be brilliant.
Well, what I thought was really nice, I saw on the Friday it happened. Obviously, I wasn't on the game, but like thousands and thousands and thousands of Star Trek Online players. All met on Spock's home planet, and
Vulcan.
Yeah, that's the one. How did I not know that?
Of course.
But there's literally thousands of them, and they've all stood in like a big circle.
God damn it! Do you know what I was doing on Friday?
Getting drunk.
Yeah, I was. God damn it! I can't believe it. Like the only time I ever agreed to finally go and socialise with people at work and just go, right, fine, it'll be all right. And then I'm out, and Rick sends me a text saying Leonard Nimoy's died, and I was just like, well, there goes my night, for fuck's sake. But if I'd have been at home and someone had told me, or if I'd got that message off him, the first thing I would have done would be go on Star Trek Online, because the MMO community, in any MMO, anything that sort of relates to that whole mythos, or like, you know, like the World of Warcraft players, you know, when someone dies in a big community or something.
Robin Williams. He was a big World of Warcraft player, and they all had a memorial.
People will go together, and exactly. So I definitely would have signed in to go and check that out.
To be honest, it seems like it'd be a really cool thing to be a part of. I know it's a sad tragedy, but to be a part of a huge memorial, it's something it's very rarely going to happen again.
Of course. Well, I suppose until William Shatner dies.
Let's not push these things.
Well, no,
just to be a part.
No, not
at
all. It's just that, you know, as and when that happens, well, of course it will happen. Yeah. But when it does,
oh god, this podcast.
It's taken a bit of a dire turning. But no, I'd like to think that now that, you know, people have been made aware that, you know, that there is this Star Trek Online, people did a big memorial, blah blah blah. That will get more people into it, and then if, you know, Patrick Stewart or, you know, any of the big sort of characters from any of the series sadly die, then that again would encourage more people to come back in to pay their respects.
I suppose it'll be hard for the likes of Jean-Luc Picard and Captain Kirk. Where would people go for the memorial? Because obviously Spock had his home planet. Can you actually go to Earth, or...?
Yeah, you can. There is Starfleet headquarters at Earth, as well as a star base. So
ruin that.
Yeah, that, you know, there'd be like a big fountain, or because there's like a Starfleet Academy as well. So there'd probably be, you know, a big statue or something put up in the grounds, I'd imagine. Or, you know, there'd be for Captain Picard probably something a bit grander, because he's sort of, I think he's the best known out of everyone. You know, it's Patrick Stewart, for God's sake. So for him, I'd like something in space that's like a big thing in space. Obviously, Leonard Nimoy would have a statue on Vulcan. Kirk, maybe if they open up Iowa as just like literally just.
You're reeling off all these things. I have no idea what they are.
Well, Iowa is a real place. It's a city in America.
Oh, yeah.
A city or a state?
No, I think it's a state.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it might be a state, yeah. But either way, if they just opened up a memorial in Iowa just for that purpose, that'd be amazing. That's again, gaming communities coming together to support each other. I love it.
So, moving on though from bad news.
Yeah, have we got anything slightly more up?
I actually have, Dan.
Okay.
Moving on to the main story this week. The Order 1886 is fucking awesome.
Yeah, this is something that we touched upon in episode 50, in which the Order had finally been released. A lot of people had played it. A lot of people weren't happy with it due to diminished gameplay time, poor AI, great visuals, but it didn't feel like it was long enough to be worth the price. That was basically the impression that I was getting from people. But then when I spoke to people who had played it, they said it was great. Obviously, it looked better than anything else. And it was worth it. You've now got it, you've now played it, let's hear your opinion.
Well done, after getting it, I'll tell you, without a doubt, every single reviewer on the planet that slated it is a complete and utter cunt-arsed bastard.
Wow.
Honestly.
As you all know, that is the highest level of insult we at PvP will
I don't say the C
someone.
word.
A cunt-arsed bastard, or whatever the fuck you just said
that.
it was. maybe instead of a shit list, we should just have a cunt-arsed bastard list.
Yeah, I think we're going.
And then that's just whenever someone annoys us. Or...
You shit now, Greg Miller's gone. But no, they was all wrong. I mean, obviously, gaming reviews are all personal opinions. But something I said to you the other day with the Order, and I'm not actually 100% sure who reviewed it on IGN, but they gave it a really, really poor review. And every day since then, there's at least 3 videos they put up for the Order.
So it can't be that bad then.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously it's new. It's still high news, so it's high traffic going into the website. But
yeah, of course, yeah,
they're all positive videos, and it's like, look what you can do on the Order, and look at this trick we found on the Order, and stuff like that. If you think it's bad, whatever, but don't change your opinion on it. But
yeah, I mean, I don't think we've ever, if there's anything that we've ever said was just a terrible game, so something poor, unless we were playing it and recording it ironically, just to laugh at it, I don't think we'd ever speak about it again.
We've done...
I mean, when was the last time we actually did, or we talked about a game that was, I mean, we played games that obviously aren't great, APB, it's not the best looking thing, there's obviously minimal to no story in it, but it's still fun, that's it, so we don't mind playing it, we'll still talk about it, I'll still recommend it to people because it's free at the end of the day.
You get what you get.
If you'd spent 45 quid on it, then that's a different matter.
And the problem with it is, I mean, I haven't finished it yet, so I can't comment on the game length. James has finished it. He did it in 7 hours on normal. No, he did it 7 hours on easy. Sorry, and then it was 10 hours to collect everything as well. I'm playing on hard because I'm fucking awesome, and I'm only on like chapter 3, I think. But get the visuals out of the way. It looks just the best looking game I've ever played. There's no loading. You got no load screens whatsoever. That's all taken with the cutscenes and the quick time events. Quick time events on a trade off for loading screens, I'm fucking happy with, and it's seamless.
Yeah, depending on how often.
Not that often, if I'm honest.
Okay.
They're not like, again, in the reviews it was like, you open a door, it's a quick time event. You fire a weapon, it's a quick time event. It's not. You have a quick time event when something happens. That's it.
Are these quick time events that you say would be, or they could be replaced for either just continual cutscene or something a bit more involved for you rather than just a QTE?
No, because a lot of the time it's like the first time you fight the werewolves, the quick time events are you're walking around shooting and whatnot, and then when a werewolf comes, it'll be like press X to roll out the way. Right. But you're still playing, and it's not necessarily a quick time event because it's something you would do anyway. You would roll out of the way because that's you can't jump or anything.
Yeah, and that would still just be a button press.
Yeah, so all it's doing is just indicating when to roll. That's it.
Yeah.
And then you'll have like there's a bit at the beginning where you're breaking out your chains and stuff, and you're drowning someone and they're trying to get up, so you're tapping X to keep his head under the water.
Yeah,
that's fine. I ain't got a problem with that. And people saying like there's no gameplay. There is. At the minute now, I've actually stopped it in the middle of a gunfight. That's probably gone on for a bit too long, if I'm honest, because it just seems to be waves and waves and waves of fucking enemies coming.
Right.
But it's not a bad thing because it's fun, and the melee attacks are like really, really good. People have complained about the cover shooting, saying it's too generic and stuff, but you gotta remember this is like age-old Victorian London. We haven't got like M6s and stuff.
And no one's parkour and all that.
No, I mean you can climb and you can jump rooftops and stuff, but it's not like Assassin's Creed or anything. So in that kind of setting, it would be cover shoot because you're not going to go running in shooting because the guns are too slow.
Yeah.
So it's just a case of you don't have to stay in cover. You can do it if you want. You're just going to die very quickly. But up to where I am, not a problem in the world. It's by far the best next-gen game I've played. I know that's not a massive praise because there's not a lot out really.
I was going to say, there's not really many that are actually worth even considering as a category. But obviously, this is something that's only on the newer generation of consoles.
Yeah, well, the PS4.
Exactly. Whereas a lot of other games that are out for the PS4 and the Xbox One are also out for the 360, the Wii, PS3.
The only other game, really, and it's a totally different game altogether, is Sunset. That's the only really good, proper next-gen game that's not a proper next-gen game. It probably could have been done on something else.
Yeah, you could easily just downgrade it slightly and then slap it on the 360, or keep it exactly as it is and release it on the PC as well.
Yeah.
But for something like The Order, which does look... I mean, I don't care which review it is that I've actually read through. They've all said, rah, 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 but the graphics are really good.
Yeah.
So that is just something consistently, you've got to appreciate how good it looks. So to put it onto a PC would be fine. It's just that not everyone's PC would be able to do it.
Not a chance at all. It's... when you watch... when we saw the first Uncharted 4 reveal, when Drake's on the floor, and... I can't remember actually. I think he's just talking, but
right.
Drake was literally just on the floor facing the camera. It looks phenomenal. And then you saw the actual gameplay, and it didn't look nowhere near as good as that cutscene did. It still looked amazing. It really, really, really did, but that cutscene was just tremendous. The Order looks like that all the way.
Well, maybe it's just the way they've done it then. They've just said, well, we won't be able to keep this level of quality for a 25-hour story and game, so we'll just do it into what we can. Plus, if they did put something with that, the textures, obviously the lighting and the grading and everything, into something that's 25 hours long, it would probably be about 2 or 3 discs.
Blu-ray discs, easy.
Because obviously, the shorter the game, the more.
It's less data, isn't it?
There's less data to fill, which means that then they can spend extra time doing the graphics up and the sound and the voice acting and stuff and getting all that okay. So if the graphics weren't up to the level that they are, do you think that it would still be worth it?
I think it would drop it, because honestly, when you first start playing especially, you're not sure if you're playing.
I've heard a couple of people say that.
James did it a lot. James said he did it about 13 times through the whole game, where he was like sat watching the cutscene, and then he just stood still, and then he just started to walk. He's like, oh shit, I'm playing. And I haven't actually done that yet, but that's purely because I've heard people say it. So as soon as I think I might be playing, I just like touch the analog slightly. If it moves, that means I'm playing. But graphics aren't everything, and I do think I'm not going to give it a score because I haven't finished it, and I will put a review up as soon as I have. But I do think if it didn't look as good as it does, it probably would drop. I think it's the first game that the graphics do play a big part. Because it really is immersive, and it does help the fact that if it is a really short game, then as long as it looks amazing and it plays amazing, that's fine. But if it just plays amazing, looks shit, and it's really short, it's probably not what you want, especially on a next-gen console. But
well, not when there's other things out that you can go and spend your money.
No, I mean, like Far Cry still looks. I mean, I got it when it came out last year, and I was playing it the other day, and it still looks just fucking gorgeous.
Yeah,
and it is a really good game as well.
But that's the thing. I mean, obviously the graphics can't be up to the same level as The Order because it's fucking huge.
Not in terms of character models and stuff. Character models don't look anywhere near as good. But in terms of lighting and textures and stuff, really, really, really good. Especially when you're up on a mountain and you catch a sunset. Just looks gorgeous. And that's on PS4. Like I can't even fathom how good it will look on PC.
Well, as soon as I've made a ruling that I'm not going to get anything that's dead brand spanking new just yet until I get a new graphics card. Because I think it's either going to make my PC suffer or I'm going to have to downgrade the specs. And I haven't done that for a single game yet, and I refuse to. So I mean, I knew that when I got Alien Isolation and Metal Gear Ground Zeroes and stuff, and I could play all of those on Ultra, then I was happy with it. But the fact is that with something like Far Cry 4, because of how big it is, I think it would start to take its toll. And I'm thinking that maybe I do need to get an upgrade fairly soon.
Say goodbye to that Star-Lord jacket, then.
Yeah, well, I watched Guardians of the Galaxy again today, so...
I watched it like last week.
Yeah, I watched it this morning. It's the best. It's just fucking well.
There's another reason, because I was saying to you, I've got to go and get Disney Infinity 2.0 for the Marvel set. And the little Rocket Raccoon is awesome. So cool, honestly. Anyway, what's coming up on the channel?
Your guess is as good as mine at this point in time.
Luckily, I have guessed some.
Okay.
We will have, coming up this week, another Can You Believe It?
Oh, fantastic. Have we got all the stuff sorted out, ready to go?
Fantastical.
Excellent. Looking forward to that one.
We have, if Dan has kept his end of the bargain, we will have a 007 Everything or Nothing series.
I have.
Good boy.
Yes, indeed. So, Everything or Nothing, obviously a James Bond game. It was a standalone in the similar vein of, what was it called?
Nightfire.
Nightfire, that was it. Which is a game that wasn't necessarily associated with a movie or a Bond. This one, obviously, is it's Pierce Brosnan.
I'm sure Nightfire was Brosnan, wasn't it?
No, it was just,
it was just
a character. No, it was just a character without a face. That's like on the screen, like on the not the screen, sorry, on the box art, it was just a blacked out face. So it's just like a Bond stance, but with no
because it was a
no
blue
face.
box, wasn't it? I'm sure it was a blue box.
Red, but I'm thinking of Bloodstone, I think, and that's Daniel Craig. But either way, Everything or Nothing I absolutely loved, and that was the PS2 and original Xbox. So we'll be playing that on the PS2.
Yes, PlayStation 2. Dear.
Yeah.
We have some Marvel Heroes.
Yeah, Marvel Heroes 2015.
What's the difference to last year's?
To Infinity Crisis. I don't know.
Characters.
They just named it that, so it's maybe characters. There is actually just a bunch of characters to choose from. Some of them cost
just not
cheap,
the ones I want.
No, but there's Ghost Rider, Colossus, Cyclops. There's just Black Panther, Storm. Storm's actually pretty fucking awesome. But I think like Venom is like one of the highest power rated.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Characters in there. So it's a free to play. But if you want to pay a subscription or just buy currency to buy stuff in game, then again you can do. So we're going to be going through that, see how it all looks, see if we can do anything decent on it.
Give it a go. We'll probably have some more Garry's Mod and a new Talk to Dan, where he will alleviate some poor schmuck's problems with bad language. As always, Dan, the last 3 things you used on your head.
Shampoo.
Yep.
Herbal essences, obviously. I've got some like L'Oreal. Not mousse. What is it? It's just like a liquid. I don't know what the fuck it is. Hair product. We'll just call it that.
So,
yeah,
but are they counted as one thing or two things?
Well, as one is something you wash your hair with, and the other is
hair
something you style your hair with. Yeah, that's not really how it works, though, is it?
No. Okay, so that's two.
How many things do you think I've done with my head?
I don't know. Could have used it to prop up something.
No. And then as a support for a hood.
A support for a hood.
Yeah.
Right, so goodbye, you little cheeky bastard.
Oh, yes. Yes.